This one came a little bit out of nowhere for me, kind of a surprise release. And I'm not exactly sure how I didn't know about it until it actually came out already. Because I'm a fan of Casey Affleck, he's done a lot of interesting stuff. But this is actually just his second movie he's directed and the first one since 2010, when he made that experimental mockumentary I'm Still Here with Joaquin Phoenix. And I gotta admit, I liked that one, it was kinda interesting and a little bit different. But this is his first conventional movie that he's written and directed, oh, and he also stars in it. It's also a sort of post-apocalyptic movie, which is another thing I love. So this had a lot going for it, and I was pretty excited when I saw it came out. And the story essentially follows this grizzled man and his kid, as they camp out in the woods and try to navigate this perilous new world. Because the events that caused this particular post-apocalyptic scenario brought with it certain issues, and it makes any encounter with other people potentially dangerous. But the world is not in complete chaos, there's still a bit of civilization left. However, that doesn't necessarily make the towns safe places to live. So these two choose to keep their distance and to keep to themselves instead. And yeah, the movie mostly follows these two as they go about their daily lives, trying their best to stay out of trouble, but of course there's gonna be some trouble. Otherwise there wouldn't be a whole lot of tension or drama in this. And you know what, this kinda reminded me a bit of a mix of Leave No Trace with Ben Foster and The Road with Viggo Mortensen. A parent and a kid living out in the wilderness, basically trying to survive and stay out of trouble. But society, or what's left of it, seems hell-bent on trying to bring that peaceful existence to an end. And that idea worked in those movies, and it works here too. All three also find very different angles of approach to a story like this. But they're all kind of quiet, toned down, brooding sort of movies. And this one in particular is very slow and deliberate. I mean, it opens the whole thing up with the dad telling a story. He's just telling the kid this bedtime story he just made up. And that scene lasts for, I don't know, 5-10 minutes? So that kinda sets the tone right away and you know what kind of movie to expect. And if you're not engaged by that first scene, this movie probably is not for you. I mean, there is a fair bit of more actiony stuff too, especially toward the end. But there's a ton of that slower, quieter tone too, so it's not for the easily bored. But I will say it's a very well crafted movie. It's well written, well directed, the acting's really good, even the kid played by Anna Pniowski did a fantastic job. But I will say that 2 hours for a simple story like this is pushing it. I feel like it was probably a little bit too drawn out for its own good. It never got to the point that it actually would have bored me, but I would say that the pacing and the length was probably not optimal. But at the same time, that's kinda my only real complaint here. And overall, I thought this was just a really well-made movie. I mean, I would hesitate to call it fun, but it was engaging and compelling. And most of that is because of the dynamic between the dad and the kid. And the excellent performances, not to mention the writing for those characters too. So overall, this one definitely didn't disappoint, but it didn't exactly blow my mind either. It's just a very solid movie, with a really engaging core relationship that kept it compelling and interesting. But would I recommend it? Sure, if you don't mind the slower drama, definitely check it out. Otherwise, maybe skip it. Or don't. After all, I'm not your dad. But hey, what are your thoughts on this? Have you seen it? Did you like it? Let me know. And if you enjoyed the video, maybe give it a thumbs up or sub to the channel, because that would be fantastic. And if you'd like, you can also support me on Patreon or PayPal through the links in the description. And as always, I appreciate you, and thanks for watching.